ask you then, something that you wanted to touch on. Last month when the running mate to the vice president, when he was introduced to the population, if you like, on the back of his selection as a running mate, he passed a comment that became very controversial indeed. And you said you were in a country when this happened. He compared your father to the current president. It says the current president has done far better and been more successful. He's the most successful president in our history. And specifically mentions your father. What was your reaction when you heard that?
I think that was ridiculous, but I understood what he meant. He was simply trying to please his masters, coming from the UP tradition. And he is somebody who's now a young man, made the running mate. Possibly in the future, he could be leading the MPP. So he wanted to please the UP, MPP, UP tradition. And that's what they have done for years, running down Nkrumah. And I'll give you a very interesting example. Buzia's daughters, some time back, were launching a documentary on their father, Dr. Buzia, who was prime minister then in between 70 to 72. He won the 69 elections. So they were launching this, and they invited me, and I was there in the audience at what we refer to as the Pink Lady, the State House, is it? And then, interestingly, Stevie Wonder was there as well. And then she started, the ambassador to Brazil now, I believe. She started by trying to recapture the day Nkrumah was overthrown, and was telling the audience how the father, that's Dr. Buzia, was jumping around and celebrating the overthrow of Nkrumah. I understand that from the Ghanaian point of view, so I was okay with that. But in my mind, I was thinking of how embarrassing that would be to Steve Wonder, because most of these African Americans see Nkrumah in a very high place. So if somebody's running down Nkrumah that way, I just couldn't figure out what was going on in his mind. And the interesting thing is that I know he has a close relationship with the Buzia's family of the daughters. And I think recently even he became a Ghanaian citizen or so. But I was embarrassed for him, not for me, because from the Ghanaian point of view, I have lived through it and understood the division in our country between CPP and UP, that rivalry and so on. But for an outsider who they see Nkrumah in that light, as a bigger, larger than life and all that, I felt so embarrassed for him that he would hear this coming from a fellow.
Did you feel embarrassed for Matthew Poku Prempeh when he heard that?
No, I understood what he was doing. He was just trying to please his masters. They put him in this high position to represent them, so he was just playing by the gallery. You remember, after the 66 coup, Nkrumah's name was dragged through the gutters, the 50th of gutters, for almost 5 years. Ghanaians were bombarded that Nkrumah was evil, Nkrumah was this, Nkrumah was that. He did all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, Nkrumah's name still stands higher than everybody else. And why is it so? It is because of his vision and his contribution.